to other teams. And so I think if you put the ball in play, Wasatch is going to have a good chance of winning today. A little bit of a change to the lineup, but I'm going to call this our UCCU spark of the lineup. I'm not sure exactly why this is happening, but the Wasps are wearing pink socks today with their all-white uniforms. Are you aware of why they're doing the pink socks today?
I don't know exactly. You'd have to think it's some type of breast cancer awareness deal over here, but Wasatch going with their all pinks. And if you're looking for a colorful uniform battle here, Tyler, this is the game for it. Wasatch in their white unis. They have the old school black and yellow stripes across the top. But Springville coming in may have brought in my new ugliest uniforms award to Springville today.
Really?
The one that went to them before was Skyridge and their orange convict uniforms that I called a few years ago.
Worse than those?
I think these ones may be worse. Springville is in solid red with blue pinstripes across them.
Blue pinstripes?
It's blue pinstripes
right.
on it. And Ty, it's a toss. It's tight. It's neck and neck coming down the wire between the Skyridge orange solid and the Springville red. But these make those Salem Hills baby blues look like the most beautiful things. And when I first saw those, I thought those were the ugliest thing in the world. Apparently, I'm just a uniform traditionalist. I like the black and gray or maybe the white here, Tyler. The Wasatch blacks actually look pretty good. I've been surprised how good those ones look. But I don't think I would be buying solid red if I were the Springville head coach over there, the way they've got these.
I would take the red over the orange. I'm not sure if I like the Skyridge orange. I still think I'd take these ones over the Skyridge orange.
Well, the Wasatch, did you get an answer? I saw you kind of doing some investigation on why they're wearing the pink here.
Out.
Yeah, we'll see for sure if that's breast cancer awareness. Haven't heard for sure. But Ty, the big story, you talked about the lineup, the changes in the lineup. There are some significant player changes in this Wasatch lineup as well. And why don't we take a peek at that one as well?
Yeah, the Point S Tires defensive starting lineup today. Think of Point S Tires, your local tire expert. Each Point S Tire is independently owned and operated by someone who lives where you live and who makes sure you get the right tire at the right price. Starting on the mound will be Jackson Kelson. Behind the plate, Kelson Stocking. Jackson Sorensen gets the start at first base today. Jack Bluth at second, Carter Bucott at short, and Chet Wilson at third. Your outfield as well, an adjustment. Tragan Shaw will play left field today. Crew Erickson will be in center. Cole Zimmerman in right, which means that Peyton Swap will not be in the lineup today. Tweaked his bat yesterday in his second at bat, and talking to him today, I had him in class today. He said, it's just that same back injury that he's been dealing with since his sophomore year, and he just pulled a muscle back there. He's going to rest it, try to be back by the end of the week.
Well, let's hope he is able to come back by the end of the week, because those back injuries can nag, as you talked about. It's all the way back to his sophomore year. They can just keep nagging, Tyler, and hopefully Peyton can get back, because when he's out of the lineup, it is a major hole in the lineup. He's a guy that obviously with 6 home runs on the year, he's a guy that can change a game with one swing of the bat, and that's just not common in Utah high school baseball. There's not many of them, and in this game today, Tyler, you're going to have 2 of the best in 5A. I guess only one now that Peyton's out, but Peyton would have been the leader in home runs in 5A, and then nipping right behind him is going to be the third baseman of Springville, who had 5 home runs on the season at this point as well, Ty. And so you've got 2 powerful bats between these 2 teams. Wasatch is down theirs. Springville still has theirs in the lineup here today.
Yeah, a couple adjustments to the batting lineup as well. Bank of Utah's specialty is relationships. Is one of the nation's top performing banks. We are committed to you and to our community. Visit our friendly Heber branch. Visit our friendly Heber branch at 620 West 100 South, and together we'll build relationships that last. Bank of Utah's an equal housing lender, member FDIC. So leading off for the Wasps will be Crew Erickson, batting second. Alex Gutierrez in the designated hitter position. Chet Wilson batting third. Cole Zimmerman moves back up to the number 4 spot. Jack Bluth hitting 5th. Kelson Stocking hitting 6th. Then a couple of new ones, Ty. Jackson Kelson back in the lineup. They're going to go ahead and let him pitch and hit today in the 7th spot. Jackson Sorensen will be at the 8th spot, and Carter Bucott will be at the 9. And so Tragan Shaw will be DH'd for today. He's the odd man out today of the lineup. Going to that Jackson Kelson, he hasn't seen the lineup for a long time. I kind of like it, though, Ty. He's struggled a little bit on the mound compared to his first 2 starts. His last 2 starts have been not as crisp as he had the first. So mix it up a little bit, right? See if he's see if being in the lineup gets him a little bit more focused. We'll see if that goes well today for them.
Well, and he's got pop. He's a guy that can hit a gap here and score some runs with one swing of a bat as well. So it'll be good to get Jackson Kelson back in the lineup. But Tyler, he's maybe the biggest story for him, though, is how's he going to respond on the mound. The last 2 games, he's been a little bit less effective with his control. He's still been good as far as getting strikeouts and getting outs for Wasatch, but they haven't had as much control from Jackson. And I think that is what's going to really help a team like Springville that struggle to put games away. It helps them put distance and get some comfort between you in games like this. So you want to make sure you're pitching with control if you're Jackson Kelson in this one. Ty, we're getting ready for the starting lineup in National Anthem. Why don't we step away real quick and take a break? When we come back, we've got first pitch between Wasatch and Springville here at Wasatch High School.
Napa know-how.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City. Stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts, 105 North Main Street in Heber City, a proud sponsor of Wasatch Wasps Sports.
Napa know-how.
Hi, friend. Are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best of State for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasp Football Stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
You might be used to having someone ask you the question, what is it that you need? I think that's limiting. I'm going to take you through a 6-step process. And it's simply answering questions. And it might not just be home. It might be that you want that fancy new car. It might be that you want trips. It's your list. What is it that you really, really want?
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. MLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice.
Hi, this is Nicole with Mountain Refined Furnishings and Flooring. And if you didn't know, we've recently partnered with Mattress Warehouse of Utah to bring you the largest selection of mattresses around. The team at Mountain Refined prides themselves on making your home a place where you love to be. We offer a large selection of furnishings, flooring, window treatments, gifts, decor, and so much more. If you haven't been by lately, stop and check it out. You'll be pleasantly surprised. We're located at 480 North Main Street.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
First pitch action brought to you by Mountain Refined. From design to project completion, our team excels in understanding and implementing your specific lifestyle and taste preferences into your interior design. Come into our showroom in order to find beautiful furniture, bedding, mattresses, decor, and so much more. And Ty, that was an experience we had on Saturday going over. Nicole had a spring expo where she invited all local vendors into her store, and it was a big sale, lots of merchandise, and just going into that store and experiencing what Nicole has over there was amazing. You compared it to a museum where you go in there and there's just so many beautiful items that you can look at.
You could spend hours in there, Tyler, couldn't you, going back and forth on all the different items that they had. And man, on Saturday that was something, because they could fill you up with some food while you're walking around, with some great sweet food, whether it be cookies or cakes. And then the artwork there really stood out to me as well that they had, Tyler. Not to mention that my family's been on the hunt for a new mattress for my daughter, and they had some great mattress deals going on. They really do have a little bit of everything there at Mountain Refined, and we appreciate their support here at 94.5 The Peak, allowing us the opportunity to broadcast these kind of sporting events and follow around and support these athletes at Wasatch High School. It's been a good year. Believe it or not, it's getting ready to come to a close, Tyler. This is the last week of April, and you turn the page here, just a few more weeks of high school athletics before the 2020 year 2022 year, comes to a close.
Yeah, Wasatch comes in 10-9 on the year, taking on Springville High School. It's time for This Day in History, brought to you by A Good Spa Day. A Good Spa Day, your favorite hometown place to relax and unwind. They offer massage, skin care, nail care, unique relaxing spa packages.
That's
Pick
a little more windy than we realized out there, Tyler.
We just opened up the
a little
window.
more wind.
It blew everything away. But your day in history, Ty, on April 27, 2018, Wasatch took on this Springville High School team in a three-game series. Aiden McGoffin and Ryan Peterson both tripled in the game to help the Wasps come through for the 9-7 victory after scoring 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Brock Cloward got the win on the mound for the Wasps in that victory.
That was a fun group to coach, Tyler. That group right there, saying a lot of names that were fun to be around. Ryan Peterson, Aiden McGoffin. Boy, they had some standout performances late in that season. Same with Brock Cloward. But this Springville team, that kind of brings another stat that I wanted to go into. Wasatch has had their number. They've won 10 in a row against Springville, and that makes me nervous coming in, Ty, because I'm a believer in stats. The stats seem to balance back out, and when you've won that many in a row, the other team's bound to get one at one point. Just ask BYU and Utah on the football side of things this year. And so I wonder if Springville, if this is the year that they get Wasatch 1 or 2 out of these 3 games.
Leadoff hitter for Springville will be the center fielder Averett, a senior, 308 batting average, 8 RBIs and 4 doubles on the year. Participated in the series last year, went 2 for 6 with an RBI. On the mound for the Wasps today will be Jackson Kelson, 22 2/3 inning pitched, a 4.94 ERA, 24 strikeouts in those 22 1/3 innings. Does have 20 freebies as well, and that's been the story the last couple of outings for Jackson Kelson. Falls down 2-0 here, but now gets a check swing strike to move the count to 2-1. Your infield today, Chet Wilson at third, Carter Bucott at short, Jack Bluth at second, and Jackson Sorensen will be playing first base. Your outfield, Tragan Shaw in left, Crew Erickson in center, Cole Zimmerman in right, and Kelson Stocking will be behind the dish. 3-1 now after a ball high and inside. Head coach of Springville, Brad Polson. Have a lot of respect for Brad, Ty. He's a Maple Mountain product. Came over to Springville High, and he's trying to build a program that's really third fiddle there at Springville. So you've got football, that's the pride and joy of Springville, but their basketball program's fantastic. Won a couple of state championships in the past 10 years, and then he's just trying to build this baseball program up.
And they've had some support, but maybe not as much support as you'd like from administration down there, as well as they've tried to get different things going with the baseball program.
In fact, a great story is he's probably throwing up in his mouth seeing this turf on the Wasatch infield. As about 3 years ago, before COVID happened, he had the money to get an infield turf that was all going to be donated. And when he went to the district and said, hey, I've got the turf, can I put this in? The district was a little bit worried about Springville getting turf and no other schools in the district, and so they kiboshed it. Even though it was all donated money, they wouldn't let him put in turf, and now he comes up here to Wasatch and sees turf.
Well, they were kind of one of the first, Tyler, to do the mound and home plate down there. They do have their mound and home plate turfed, and you'll remember that because their mound is bright red down there. They've got a bright red turf to go with these bright red uniforms. And I'll tell you, if you're a BYU fan like yourself, you just got to be disgusted when you go down to Springville High School and see all that red everywhere.
It's a called strike 3 to the leadoff hitter Averett after going to a full count. It's going to bring up the number 2 hitter Esplin. Esplin had a good series against Wasatch in his last year. 3 for 5 with a run scored and a couple of walks. He's hitting .424 this year with 10 RBIs and 7 extra base hits. That's a weird foul ball off the nub of the bat.
Hit his hand too, Tyler.
Blustery day here. The wind is blowing in and straight out. We do have Wasatch Springville softball going on right now. Wasatch softball number 3 in the RPI and Springville number 4. So a top 5 matchup over behind us, and the wind is blowing out. And Paige Armendariz and Sweat just have to be licking their chops to see that wind blowing straight out.
Just get it elevated over there, Tyler. You may have a few more home runs that get chalked up on the board today.
1-2 pitch is going to be fouled off into the freshman soccer field down the right-hand side, and we'll reset at 1-2. Wasatch in the top of the first.
Tall task to think you're going to have a home run on the baseball side of things with the wind blowing in the way it is, though.
But Jackson Kelson's got to like having that wind at his back today. The 1-2 pitch is swung on. It's going to be a ground ball to Bucott. Fields it clean. Throws it across the diamond in time to Jackson Sorensen. And Wasatch has the first 2 guys retired here in the top of the first inning.
It's just been so fun watching Carter Bucott progress this year, hasn't it, Tyler? He's played such a clean defensive shortstop. Only a sophomore for this Wasatch baseball team. I've gone on record, and I'll say it again, I just believe he's an all-state player in the future. Like a lot of young players do, his bat has struggled. It's been up and down this year. He goes through hot streaks and cold streaks. But I just think ultimately in the end, this kid is going to be one of the best shortstops that has played at Wasatch in a very long time.
He's going to bring up the pitcher today, sophomore, lefty Barrett, number 11, 245 batting average, 11 RBIs, 2 doubles, 2 triples, and does have a home run on the year. And he'll take strike 1.
Jackson Kelson looks good early on in this, Tyler. Crisp. He's around the zone. There's the broadcaster's jinx as he misses by a mile up high, but
just a bit outside.
but he's been good. It's been noticeably different than his last couple starts.
1-1 count now to the number 3 hitter. Wasatch strikeout and a ground out to the shortstop to start off this ball game. The 1-1 swung on, fouled off into the soccer field. Soccer team down at Spanish Fork today. Moves the count to 1-2.
I guess that's a soccer game you brought up last week, Tyler. I got a little more information on it. I don't know if you heard 15 yellow cards were handed out in that game. And Provo was able to tie it up with 13 seconds left on a penalty in the box that awarded a PK to Provo when they were down by 1. And the goalie of Wasatch got a yellow card. It was a very questionable yellow card, so they had to bring in the JV goalkeeper. And for that PK, Provo put it in. That's what sent it to overtime. And so a lot of drama in that game between Wasatch and Provo soccer last week.
A couple of balls moves the count to full, so full count here with 2 outs. It's been kind of the story the last couple of outings for Jackson Kelson, get the first 2 guys out, and then he has had a hard time getting the 3rd out here in the top of the 1st. Comes set with the full count. Delivers the payoff pitch. In there, it's swung on. It's going to be a high, towering fly ball to left field. Tragan Shaw out there today. Goes underneath it, Canicorn catch, and Wasatch retires the side. Wasatch Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, your rehabilitation specialist dedicated to your total recovery from all injuries. Wasatch retires the side, no runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Erickson, Gutierrez, Wilson up in the bottom of the 1st.
Heber City Point S is locally owned and operated by Larry Rhodes and Brad Hyatt. They offer the best brand tires at low prices with extensive knowledge and experience of repair and services with no pressure sales. Only what you need. They've been taking care of cars, trucks, and trailers for over 20 years. No appointment needed, conveniently located, free shuttle service, and free Wi-Fi. Take $5 off your next visit when you tell them 94.5 The Peak sent you over. That's Heber City Point S.
Gucci Goo Barbecue in Heber Valley is a premier barbecue restaurant. You can choose from finger-licking ribs, poppin' andouille sausage, tasty chicken, tender brisket, delicious pork, and yummy street tacos. Friday night dates, take that significant other for the smoked prime rib that melts in your mouth. Family-friendly atmosphere where everyone is welcome, quick service for dine-in or takeout, great quality food, and great value for your money. That's Gucci Goo in Midway on Main Street.
Wasatch High School Sports is on the radio.
Bottom of the 1st inning brought to you by Wasatch Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, your rehabilitation specialist dedicated to your recovery from sports injuries. Let Dan Ivey and his team get you back to 100%.
Wasatch wearing pink socks today, recognizing breast cancer awareness, wearing white uniforms and the pink socks, pink tape. Currently up 0-0. The score is 0-0 here in the top of the 1st inning. Some moms on this Wasatch baseball team battling breast cancer, and so the players deciding to honor them today. Springville wearing the All Reds, which Tyler has declared are his favorite uniforms he's ever seen.
I think I would probably take the red over the orange at this point, Tyler, from Sky Ridge when they went all solid orange, but they're both terrible options.
Leading off for the Wasps will be Crew Erickson, 424 batting average, up above 400 after a good series against Salem Hills. 5 for 8 with a double and 4 runs scored. 23 runs scored this year, Ty, for Crew Erickson. Out of the 19 games that Wasatch has played, he scored 23 runs in those 19 games, having himself a great year. He'll lead it off today against Barrett. Barrett, 36 innings pitched on the year, a 1.72 ERA. Arizona State commit, and he starts off with a fastball for a strike, throwing from the left-hand side.
Yeah, what goes into a commitment of a young player like that, Tyler? Why do the big schools come calling when you're in your freshman and sophomore year? Because you actually can't commit until you're a junior anyway. So when these kids are saying they're committing, it's a verbal commitment when you're younger like this. But why is Arizona State coming after a kid like this early?
High speed left
velocity,
right?
Yeah, left-hand thrower.
Already throwing high 80s, another swing and miss.
That's actually 90 there.
36 innings pitched, 68 strikeouts. He's almost averaging 2 strikeouts an inning on the year. So this is a shutdown guy Ty that Springville has on the mound. The 1-2 swung on and missed, and it's the first strikeout of the game for Barrett. He gets them often, and Wasatch has the first strikeout. It's going to bring up Alex Gutierrez, 467 batting average, 571 on base percentage, was 2 for 5 in the series against Salem with 3 runs scored and earned 2 walks. Lefty-lefty matchup here in the bottom of the first. It's a curveball. Alex is going to swing at the curveball. It's going to be a ground ball to the second baseman who bobbles it. He's going to throw that almost into the dugout.
See, but isn't that the key that we talked about, Tyler? You get a strikeout guy like Barrett, and what does the defense do behind him? You fall asleep because there's balls not in play that often. And so if you can be in play, you're going to have bobbles. You're going to have errors, not because the defense is not good, but because they're not engaged in games when you have strike throwers. So if Wasatch can be competitive and be in play like that, you're going to get bags like Alex just got.
Alex Gutierrez reaches base once again. It's going to bring up the number 3 hitter, Chet Wilson, 3 for 8 in the series against Salem Hills, 5 RBIs. Led the team in RBIs against Salem. Also had a home run in his last game, an in-the-park home run. Comes in hitting 389. Fastball high for ball 1. Ty, you mentioned 90. Is that what you've already seen on the gun?
He's clipping out about 90 miles an hour right now.
90-mile-an-hour lefty as a sophomore. I think he's got aspirations further than Arizona State.
He may not ever make it to Arizona State, Tyler, is the truth there.
What's with Springville? When we were in high school, had a guy by the name of Pollock.
Yeah, you flashing back to Mark Pollock that was mid-90s and
drafted
had
by
a
the
plus
Cubs in the first round.
Yeah, 21st overall pick. And didn't do much with that. Ended up falling out of never even made it to AAA, Tyler. Didn't make it that high, fell out pretty quickly. But he was something to watch, that's for sure. Got himself a couple $1 million on a signing bonus.
2-0 pitch in there for a strike to Chet. Moves the count to 2-1. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Wasatch retired the side in the top of the first. 2-1 count. Swung on. It's going to be high ground ball behind the catcher. Foul. Moves the count to 2-2. Yeah, you can see the timing, right, Ty? Timing just a little bit off. The crew was behind the fastball. Chet a little bit behind the fastball there. Alex Gutierrez jumped on an off speed right off the bat on his swing. Reached on an air.
And you've said this often, Tyler. If you're Chet, you've got to look fastball here. Even though you're in 3-hole, you can't look breaking pitch because the speed of the fastball is too much.
Does get a fastball. It's fouled off to the soccer field.
And he did a good job there. He was on time with that fastball. He's looking fastball. And then you just have to recognize and adjust to the curveball if they fire it your way.
On deck will be Cole Zimmerman. Peyton Swap not in the lineup today with the back injury that he got yesterday. This is an off-speed pitch that's going to go over the backstop. So Alex Gutierrez will take the bag at second base. And Wasatch has a duck on the pond here with the full count to Chet.
So with a young pitcher like this, boy, he's impressive watching, Tyler. Just a live arm. You'd love to have it as a coach. But there's youth. You know, a sophomore, not a lot of high-level experience throwing against competitive baseball. And I'm sure he does the travel and all that, but it's different when you get into the season. And so if you're Wasatch, you want to try to show him things he hasn't seen before, whether that's bunting in unique situations or hit and runs, doing stuff different on the base paths. And you try to mix it up with young guys and get them out of rhythm and see if you can't get your hitters better pitches to hit by doing so.
The payoff pitch is fouled off to the backstop, so we'll reset once again at a 3-2 count. Wasatch with a runner on second as Alex Gutierrez reached on an error by the second baseman and then advanced to second on a pass ball. Full count, 1 out. The pitch swung on and missed. Crew did foul it off, but it goes into the catcher's glove. That's strikeout number 2 for Barrett in the inning, and it's going to bring up another lefty. So back-to-back-to-back-to-back lefties, 4 lefties here. Gutierrez, Wilson, Zimmerman, and Bluth, 2 through 5, all lefties.
Ty, even though that was a strikeout there from Chet, that's a good at bat. He saw 7 pitches there. That will come into play later on in the game when you get to your second and third at bat. If he's seen 10-plus pitches, that's usually advantage to the batter in those situations.
Slider off the plate for ball 1 to Cole Zimmerman. Cole 1 for 6 in the series against Salem Hills. 313 on the year with 10 RBIs. Has an RBI opportunity here with Gutierrez at second base. Okay speed for Gutierrez at second. That's pitch inside for ball 2, so falls down 2-0 to Zimmerman.
Inside of the kneecaps, Tyler, and that's the one spot as a hitter for me. That makes you uncomfortable.
You're not going to take that
You're
one.
not as likely to be getting in there solid comfortable on the next pitch.
2-0. Swung on and missed by Cole. Once again behind the fastball. Moves the count to 2-1.
And it's a great pitch to come back with there after you brush him off the plate at the knees. He's hard on the outside with the fastball. And Cole was tardy, as you pointed out.
Jack Bluth on deck for the Wasps. The 2-1. Swung on, fouled off into the soccer field. Moves the count to 2-2. Mentioned Wasatch 10-9 on the year. Max Preps has them at 11-9. If they were 11-9, they'd be at number 11, so knocking on the door of being top 10 in the RPI. Springville team comes in 6-13 on the year, number 23 in the RPI rankings. The 2-2 pitch, curveball off the edge of the plate, moves count to full. Full count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. 0-0 the score. 1 strikeout for Jackson Kelson in the top of the first as Wasatch retired to the side. Payoff pitch. Slow, and Cole Zimmerman earns a walk. So 2 base runners here for Wasatch, and that's going to bring up Jack Bluth. 385 batting average, 484 on base percentage, 12 RBIs coming off a 3-for-10 series against Salem Hills.
That walk brought to you by Gravity Coalition, offering the best in bikes, skis, snowboards, skateboards, and more in Heber Valley. Visit gravitycoalition.com. Already up to 19 pitches in the inning is Barrett. So even though there's no hits, Wasatch is doing a good job working the count, Ty.
Strike is in there for strike 1. First pitch is a fastball. Jack's cooled off. He had a hot streak there after the St. George trips. He's cooled off a little bit, but has a couple of good series under his belt against Provo and Salem. Again, currently hitting 385 on the year. The 0-1 pitch, outside corner for strike 2. That's a good pitch there from Barrett. And Jack Bluth finds himself in a hole, 0-2 with 2 outs. Kelson Stocking on deck for the Wasps. Jack, a little bit of an open stance from the left-hand side. Delivers, swings at a pitch on the outside corner. Good protect of the plate, and he'll foul that one off, and we'll reset at 0-2.
You know, the pitch count will come into play here in this one, Tyler, up to 22. This will be the 23rd pitch delivered here in the inning. And Mirror Lake Station injury update. Springville, their number 2 pitcher, Cade DeLamas, broke his finger last week.
So 3 Ks for Barrett in the top of the first, but Wasatch does have 2 base runners. No hits, no runs, 1 error by Springville. 2 are left on base. It's 0-0 here on 94.5 The Peak.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Back Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hirst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Back Flooring and Paint.
Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is a family-owned and operated business serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for over 7 years. For a burger with kick, try the Firehouse. Have a hankering for some seafood? Try fish and chips. Or try the Mandarin chicken salad. Their homemade recipes, freshly grilled burgers and sandwiches are complemented with unique sauces and homemade sides. They provide the best experience and highest quality food. Stop by today and try their great menu items. As a thank you to teachers, first responders, medical personnel, and military, get 15% off meals all year round.
Hi, this is Abby Covarrubias, the Wasatch High School Student Body President. Did you know that parents are the #1 reason kids don't drink? Believe it or not, teens still listen to their parents. In fact, kids usually listen to their parents more than anyone else, including their friends. Utah kids report the #1 reason they choose not to drink is their parents' strong disapproval. All kids need a parent's help to stay drug and alcohol free. Brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health and the Parent Bonding Project.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Top of the second brought to you by Wasatch Back and Flooring. Wasatch Back Flooring and Paint. From the words of their customers, from start to finish, the entire transaction was honest, professional, and meticulous. Highly recommend Wasatch Back Flooring and Paint. Thanks, Dan, and your team. Leading off for the Springville Red Devils will be Luaki. Sophomore, 466 batting average, 20 RBIs, 5 home runs, was 1 for 3 against Wasatch last year in their 2-game series. Second behind Peyton in both RBIs and home runs. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Now a curveball. It's going to be a hard ground ball to Jack Bluth. Jack Bluth gets the glove on it, but not able to get it in. That'll be a single for Milwaukee. A good barrel there, and that's the first hit of the ball game for either team.
And a development of the swing, isn't it? Last year, a little bit more pull side hitter, looking for something he can elevate. Ty took that hard outside fastball and drove it the other way. That thing looked like it clipped Jack Bluth as well as it went by. Hopefully Jack's all right. Hit him in the arm, it looks like, the throwing arm.
You're going to bring up the second baseman, senior Gage, 277 batting average, 6 RBIs, a couple of doubles on the year for the second baseman. Had an error in the first inning for the Red Devils. Kelson, first time with the runner on. It's going to be a pop-up bunt. Kelson stocking with a great sliding catch in foul territory, and Wasatch has the first out of the inning. Great play there from Kelson stocking.
That was a great play, Tyler. That ball was falling down into no man's land. The pitcher, catcher, and third base were all making a run at it. It's about 30 feet down the line into foul territory. Kelson made a nice sliding catch to get underneath that thing with other bodies coming at him.
Nominee for a good spa day play of the game. It's going to bring up the catcher, Polson, 265 batting average on the year, 10 RBIs. He'll take a strike on the outside corner.
Isn't that play so frustrating as a coach, though, when you're asking for a bunt to be put down, and just like that, it feels like a wasted out and wasted at bat when you pop up. Runner's still standing over there on first base.
0-1 pitch, swung on and missed, gets away from stocking. Lauke does not go, and so the runner will stay at first base. 0-2 count now to Polson. Way behind that fastball. Looking at the radar tie, about 80, mid-80s right now for Jackson Kelson. 0-2 count. Kelson's going to shake off that pitch. He's now going to come set, takes a peek at first base. Now he's going to pick off first base, not in time. Sorensen has to come off the bag to make the catch. You remember against Salem Hills in game 1, a couple of errors from Jackson Kelson throwing over to first base. You can hear the wind down there on the field. 0-2 count. Kelson 2 looks. Now he'll step off the back of the mound and we'll reset once again with an 0-2 count. No score here in the top of the first, or excuse me, top of the second. Neither team scores in the first inning. 0-2 pitch. Yes, got the outside corner. Second strikeout of the game looking for the Red Devils. Physical at the Pit Stop, your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic, serving you from head to toe, including vertigo to sports injury, serving the Heber Valley for over 40 years. The shortstop, Brunson, comes to the plate for Springville High School. 217 batting average, 6 RBIs, a triple. Was 0 for 2 with a strikeout last year against Wasatch in the series. 2 looks, now delivers. Thinks about swinging. Too low for ball 1. A little bit different Jackson Kelson to start off this ball game compared to what we've seen his last 2 outings, Ty.
Yeah, he's been more clean, Tyler, more around the zone. Good command of his fastball, and that's really the key there. His fastball is crisp. He's commanding inside and outside, keeping these Springville hitters off balance. And really maybe the most important part is he's commanding that inner part of the zone, Tyler, getting inside on the plate. And so these hitters are not comfortable leaning over the outer half, and it just makes it harder to catch up to a velocity pitcher if he's going to come inside on you.
Brunson takes strike 1, so now 1-1 the count with 2 outs. Brunson takes a look at the wristband in his back pocket, now gets into the box. Jackson Kelson sets, delivers the 1-1. It's swung on and missed. Big lefty swing from Brunson, not in time on that fastball up in the zone, moves the count to 1-2.
And it's the same for both Kelson and Barrett of Springville, Tyler, who's throwing. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for these guys to hit a guy or 2 in this game and keep hitters uncomfortable from getting in there in the box.
Jackson Kelson gets Brunson swinging. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. 1 runner is left on base. It's 0-0 as we go into the bottom of the second.
Hi, friend. Are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best of State for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasps Football Stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
Wasatch High School Sports is on the radio.
Bottom of the second inning in what looks to be a pitcher's duel. Springville struck out the side in the top of the first inning against Wasatch. Jackson Kelson now with 3 strikeouts against Springville after 2 innings. This bottom of the second inning action brought to you by Physical at the Fifth Stop, your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic serving you from head to toe, including vertigo to sports injuries, serving the Heber Valley for over 40 years. And time for your Physical at the Fifth Stop trivia question, Tyler. Last year in the first inning, just the strikeout of 3 by Barrett over Wasatch brought this one to mind. How many strikeouts did Springville have on Wasatch in the first inning of last year's game? I would imagine as a coach you would remember this one, wouldn't you?
Would I want to remember this
no,
one?
No, you wouldn't.
I want to ask.
4 strikeouts. Esplin, who's actually playing first base for Springville today, struck out 7 out of the first 2 innings. So that's a rarity when you have 7 strikeouts in 2 innings of play. But Springville got that rarefied air against Wasatch last year with Esplin.
1-1 count. Kelson Stocking will lead off the inning, hitting 300 now. 1 for 3 in the series against Salem Hills. Had a good day at the plate yesterday. Had a single, a sac fly for an RBI, a sacrifice bunt, and a walk. And he now is up 2-1 on Barrett. Barrett again, 3 strikeouts in the first inning. Would argue it was a productive inning, though, for the Wasps. They did have 2 runners reach base and pushed Barrett over the 20-pitch mark in that first inning. Now a 2-2 count as the curveball's in there for a strike. Barrett sets, delivers the 2-2. It's a fastball, too far outside, moves the count to full. A lot of times with strikeout pitchers, especially with a good team like Salem, Wasatch, Spanish, if the teams can work the count and he's going for a lot of strikeouts, it's going to drive that pitch count up. The payoff pitch, too far outside.
Late call.
That is outside. I'm going to disagree with the umpire on that one, but Kelson Stocking gets run up looking. That's the 4th strikeout of the game for Barrett. He's going to bring up Jackson Kelson. Hasn't been in the lineup for a while, hitting 200 on the year. Had a 2 RBI triple in St. George the first weekend. I believe that game was against Carbon, or against Orem maybe. Curveball in there for a strike on the inside part. Looks like the umpire's given about a ball to 2 balls inside and outside so far today. Fastball, low for ball 1. 1-1 the count.
Race for the foul ball is what you have there. 1 by Springville.
1-1. Jack Bluth won the first race. 1-1. You can hear the winds howling as that wind for the flag out in left field is really blowing hard. Jackson Kelson just a little bit behind that fastball. Moves down to 1-2. Jackson Kelson been good on the mound so far. 3 Ks through 2 innings, but he's going to strike out. That's now 5 Ks out of 5 outs, as Barrett is rolling on the mound right now for the Red Devils.
Well, it feels like last year's game, doesn't it? When Springville came up here last year, like I said, they struck out 7 guys to start the game, and a drop 3rd strike in the first inning actually got to the 4 strikeouts, and as the base runner reached after the strikeout tie. But then Wasatch got a few base runners, and they got to him, and they got him out of the game. Probably one of the most questionable coaching decisions we saw all year. They yanked him pretty quick out of that game, the pitcher for Springville, and Wasatch was able to get a tight victory over the Red Devils.
Take strike 1, curveball, swings and misses on the foul ball. .353 batting average for Jackson Sorensen, a .500 on base percentage. Was 0 for 2 in the series against Salem Hills with a couple of strikeouts. Now falls down 0-2, and that one's in there for strike 3. So 1-2-3 inning with 3 straight strikeouts for Barrett. No runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base as we move into the top of the 3rd. It's 0-0 here on 94.5 The Peak.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
You might be used to having someone ask you the question, what is it that you need? I think that's limiting. I'm going to take you through a 6-step process. And it's simply answering questions. And it might not just be home. It might be that you want that fancy new car. It might be that you want trips. It's your list. What is it that you really, really want?
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. MLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice. This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Top of the third, brought to you by Wasatch Napa Auto Parts, your local Napa stocks auto parts, tools, and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today. Again, if you're just joining us, the 12-5 Wasatch softball team is taking on the 14-6 Springville Red Devils today. Wasatch currently number 3, Springville number 4 in the RPI. Both teams are also 4-2 in region play. Springville beat Wasatch 6-5 in their last game, and Wasatch just went up 1-0 on the RBI by Paige Armendariz in the bottom of the third. And also we have Wasatch Springville here in front of us, and both pitchers are rolling. It's a called strike here to Akiana. Now a swung pitch, and it's going to be a line drive at Jackson Swenson. You only get one out for that. You don't get two for having it caught twice. But a good play there from Jackson Sorensen, and Wasatch has the first out of the inning on the line out to the first baseman.
Eye level on Jackson there, and it hit his glove and then squirted out, and then he batted it up and pulled it in, Tyler. That's an exciting one out to start the inning.
It's going to bring up the DH Thorpe. Only 1 for 1 on the season. Not a lot of plate appearances for Thorpe. DHing today for the right fielder. He's going to swing at the first pitch fastball, and it's fouled hard down the right field line. 0-1 count. Can hear both dugouts chirping at each other, having some fun. 0-1 here in the top of the third. 0-1 count, 0-0 the score. 0-1 pitch, in there for strike two, moves the count to 0-2. Softball's having themselves a good year. Currently in the Deseret News standings tie, Springville is ahead of Wasatch, number 2, Wasatch, number 3. So 3-4 in the RPI, 2-3 in the D News. Top 5 matchup, whatever way you look at it. Some good softball being played behind us. Swung on, 0-2 is going to be fouled off behind Kelson Stocking, moves the count, keeps the count at 0-2. Got our shotgun mic down there, picking up the players chasing
all these
those
kids
foul
are chasing
balls.
the foul balls, Ty, and
they getting some bubble gum for
maybe
that?
seeing the microphone there and saying hi on their way by.
Making sure they get on the air. 0-2 pitch here to the number 9 hitter, Thorpe. Curveball gets the outside corner. Umpires
generous call.
Yeah, umpires giving that outside corner to both pitchers. And that's strikeout number 4. Again, brought to you by Physical at the Fit Stop. 2 outs now here in the top of the third. Is going to bring up the center fielder, Averett. Senior struck out looking in his first at bat. Had a good series last year against the Wasps, 2 for 6 in that series. Currently hitting .308 on the year. Soccer team is down at Spanish Fork, coming off arguably their biggest win of the season over number 1 ranked Provo. The 9-2 Wasps are set to take on 6-6 Spanish Fork. The Wasps are currently number 2 in the RPI standings. Number 1 though in the D News after that win over Provo. The Wasps beat Spanish Fork 3-0 their first matchup. Gilberto Vargas and Aiden Rouser had the goals for Wasatch in the victory. Swung on and missed there, moves the count to 1-1. Again, no score here in the top of the third. Wasatch has 6 strikeouts against them in the day, as Barrett is really mowing for Springville. It's going to be a ground ball to Jack Bluth. He fields it, throws it to Jackson Sorensen at first. The second straight Wasatch Physical Therapy 1-2-3 inning for the Wasps, as no runs come in, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. It's still 0-0 as we go into the bottom of the third.
Hi, this is Nicole with Mountain Refined Furnishings and Flooring. And if you didn't know, we've recently partnered with Mattress Warehouse of Utah to bring you the largest selection of mattresses around. The team at Mountain Refined prides themselves on making your home a place where you love to be. We offer a large selection of furnishings, flooring, window treatments, gifts, decor, and so much more. If you haven't been by lately, stop and check it out. You'll be pleasantly surprised. We're located at 480 North Main Street.
Heber City Point S is locally owned and operated by Larry Rhodes and Brad Hyatt. They offer the best brand tires at low prices with extensive knowledge and experience of repair and services with no pressure sales. Only what you need. They've been taking care of cars, trucks, and trailers for over 20 years. No appointment needed, conveniently located, free shuttle service, and free Wi-Fi. Take $5 off your next visit when you tell them 94.5 The Peak sent you over. That's Heber City Point S. And now, back to the action. Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Bottom of the third inning at Wasatch High School. 0-0 is the score as Wasatch comes to the plate. Third inning action brought to you by Gravity Coalition, offering the best in bikes, skis, snowboards, skateboards, and more in Heber Valley. Personalized service, sales, and repair for the gear you love. Gravity Coalition in Midway, Utah, or visit gravitycoalition.com. This is a cool shop. And tell you, it's not too often you see draftable guys come up here, but this is a draftable player on the mound for Springville. And who knows if he'll end up getting drafted, but as a sophomore pushing 90, left-handed pitcher, that's certainly on professional scouts' radars, I'm sure, at this point. Fun game to be watching here today. And Jackson Kelson going toe-to-toe with him for the Wasatch pitching staff.
Wasatch softball team has pushed their lead up to 3-0 in the bottom of the third inning. Strike one called on Carter Bucad, the number 9 hitter, 224 batting average. Had a good day yesterday, 2 hits yesterday against Salem Hills, 2 for 7 in that series with an RBI and a run scored. But he's down 0-2 after fouling off the second pitch into the Wasatch dugout.
You know, this isn't a great time for me to say this as Carter falls down 0-2, but if I were going to pick 2 hitters for Wasatch that could maybe have good days at the plate, it would be Bucad and then Chet Wilson. Chet Wilson kind of elevates against better pitching, it seems like, Tyler. And Carter Bucad's got a short, condensed swing that he may be able to catch up to this fastball in the 9-hole and sneak a few hits by Springville.
He looked to be on time on that last foul ball that he had on the 0-2. Come back with an 0-2 curveball inside for ball 1, moves count to 1-2. Well, and that's a good off speed too to come with a good fastball.
That's what I was going to say. You weren't the only one to notice that Carter was on time with that fastball, and that's good discipline from Barrett, a sophomore, saying, well, I'm not going to try to blow another one by him. I've got this great breaking pitch I'll come back with here as well. And sometimes you get tempted as a pitcher. He's already up to 40 pitches now. You know, try to say conserve some pitches. Let me come back with a fastball and maybe not waste one. But he noticed Carter was on time and didn't want to have an opportunity for a hit.
Swings at one up in the zone. He elevates it to left center field. Left fielder goes over and makes the catch. That's the first out of the game made by a Springville fielder other than the pitcher and catcher, as it's a fly out to left field to start off the top of the third inning. It's going to bring up the top of the order now. Crew Erickson struck out in his first at bat. 424 coming into this series. 6 extra base hits on the year.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him try to lay a bunt down right here, Tyler. Drag bunt down third base line.
Instead, he's going to take a fastball on the inside that gets the umpire. 1-0 the count. Boys lacrosse team tie is 3-6 on the year. They're coming off a big region win over Salem Hills. Boys will take on Maple Mountain tomorrow at Wright Tree Stadium. Maple Mountain currently 3-0 in region play and number 9 in the RPI. The Wasps are sitting at number 19 in the RPI standings. 2-0 count now to Crew Erickson. Good hitters count for Crew. Let's see if he gets aggressive here on the 2-0. Does so, but still behind the fastballs. That'll go down the right side foul. Girls lacrosse is 4-4. They're 2-0 in region play. Had a dominating 17-1 win over Salem Hills on Friday. They're traveling to Olympus today. Olympus, one of the top teams in 5A girls lacrosse, currently number 3 in the RPI standings. The Wasps are in the top 10, though. They're currently at number 8 in the RPI standings. The 2-1 pitch also fouled off down the right side, moves the count to 2-2. Wasatch 2 base runners in the day, but haven't had a hit yet, and Crew Erickson's going to look at a strike down on the outside part, and that's the pitch that if both pitchers can keep hitting that spot, it's a tough pitch to hit.
Well, I know it's tough going against Wasatch, Tyler, but this is a pretty baseball from these pitchers. That's a great pitch sequence there going against Crew Erickson. Crew had a good approach. He just couldn't get the bat and head out in time. And again, I was watching with curiosity to see if he would allow Crew to maybe catch up to it by throwing a breaking pitch, but he didn't. He went outside a little bit farther, saw what the umpire had been giving on the outer half as you brought up, and went with the heat again on the outer half. It's just a good sequence from the pitcher there for the Red Devils.
Alex Gutierrez is going to fall behind 0-2 on 2 pitches. In that same spot, Ty, he's given them a little bit further out from the outside corner. And when you have a guy like Barrett that can hit the spots, he's doing a good job of hitting them. And he hits that spot again. Gutierrez goes ahead and swings at it this time and fouls it off.
Yeah, Alex is just a foul ball machine. Yesterday in his 3 at-bats, he had over 10 foul balls. Tyler, 13 actually is what he got up to on the game. And already he's got a couple more in this one. He's just such a feisty hitter in the box.
0-2. Tries to go outside again. Doesn't get the strike 3 call that time. So moves the count to 1-2. Against Alex Gutierrez. Barrett hovering in the high 80s, has hit 90 a couple of times today. Jackson Kelson also has hit the high 80s, hovering in the mid 80s. Ball 2 in there, moves the count to 2-2. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. No score, only 1 hit for Springville, only 1 base runner for Springville. Wasatch has had 2 base runners, but not a hit yet today. The 2-2. High again, moves the count to full. He's just a presence in the box.
Yeah,
tonight.
he's a pest is what he is, isn't he, to the opposing pitcher. This, in his last 5 at-bats, Tyler, he's gone at least 6+ pitches 4 times in his last 5 at-bats.
Payoff pitch, too far outside, and Alex Gutierrez earns another trip to first base. He reached on an error to the second baseman on his first at-bat. It's going to bring up Chet Wilson. Struck out in his last at-bat, but had a good at-bat, fouling off a couple of pitches before ultimately going down swinging. Again, had 5 RBIs in the series against Salem Hills, 2 in Game 2 and 3 in Game 3. He'll set on the left-hand side. Alex Gutierrez at first. First pitch, it's a curve ball, way off to the outside for ball 1. This is what you like for Coach Jacobson, is an at-bat like Gutierrez that gets the pitch count up a little bit, allows more guys behind you to see pitches. The 1-0 thinks about swinging, and too far outside, moves count to 2-0.
If you remember, Chet saw 7 pitches in his first at-bat, Tyler, and so Barrett, interestingly enough, again, this is all the game within the game. He went mostly fastballs the first time. Well, now he came with a couple breaking pitches to start Chet off here. So already, Chet is seeing what he's got to throw at him, and he's only 2 balls into his second at-bat. And unless Barrett's holding a couple other pitches that he's going to wait for his 3rd time through, Chet's seen enough that he should be able to jump on him in his 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at-bats here.
2-0 pitch, or 2-0 count. We do have seen the first pickoff move. Not a great pickoff move over at first. Fastball, too far inside, 3-0.
And I guess I should catch myself when I say that. When a pitcher's humming the way that Barrett is, you're not guaranteed 3 at-bats in this game, or 4 at-bats for that matter. So Wasatch needs to help out in order to get some more eyeballs on this guy.
3-0, and Barrett getting a little bit wild. That's 8 straight balls going back to the Alex Gutierrez at bat. It's going to bring a trip to the mound from the catcher, Polson. This trip to the mound brought to you by Mirror Lake Station. Best donuts in Utah. The Mirror Lake Station is your stop for gas, groceries, and goodies. New owners David and Kristen Wade invite you to swing by and say hello this season at Mirror Lake Station in Camas. Back-to-back walks, has runners on first and second for the Wasps with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Cole Zimmerman comes up to the plate. He walked in his first at-bat. .313 batting average with 10 RBIs on the year for Cole. RBI opportunity with Alex Gutierrez at second base.
Am I remembering right? Only 2 balls in play right now for Wasatch. 3 balls, excuse me. Right, Bucad, Gutierrez.
That's it.
That's all. That's 2 balls in play.
2 balls in play.
And so you check the Springville defense looking out here, Tyler, and one thing to watch is what's the prep step for the fielders like? And that prep step is when the pitcher's delivering, are they getting into that fielding position? Right now, most of them are seemingly engaged still in this one.
Back-to-back off-speed pitches for strikes. Has the count at 0-2. Another curveball. He tried to go a little bit further outside to get Cole Zimmerman to chase it. Zimmerman does not do it. Moves count to 1-2. Runners on first and second here in the bottom of the third. Wasatch now with 4 base runners. Still no hits. They've come on 3 walks and an error by the second baseman. The 1-2. Swung on, and that's going to be a base knock through the 4-5-6 hole. Bobbles it.
Go.
Gutierrez is going to try to get in. He had a late jump. Gutierrez at the plate, slides in there safe. It was a bobble by the left fielder, and Alex Gutierrez had stopped.
Sorry,
Coach
Ty, I
Jacobson
was
said, get in there.
Trying to coach from the booth for a
and
minute.
he gets in there, and Wasatch breaks through and takes the 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the third. Nice 5-6 hole single shot there for Cole Zimmerman. for the RBI.
It's so hard sometimes, Tyler, having coached these guys to not just say it, and especially when you see that bobble. Alex was retreating, and that's why I started saying that. Coach Jacobson decided he was going to hold him up, as that was a ball where the left fielder was fielding only about 20 feet beyond the shortstop position. And so Coach Jacobson wisely is holding him up because he's going to be thrown out by about 45 feet if he sends him. And Alex started retreating back when the ball was bobbled. And so that's why I was shouting that there. But he luckily was able to recover in time to get across the board, and that feels like an important run.
Yeah, gets one run in, so it's a 1-0 lead. Still runners on first and second for Jack Bluth. Fouls off the first pitch, now takes a pitch on the outside corner for strike two. 0-2 the count with 2 outs. Wasatch leads 1-0. That run brought to you by Wasatch Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Good speed by Wilson at second base. Decent speed by Zimmerman at first. The 0-2. Curveball swung on. It's going to be fouled out of play down the left side.
So, Ty, other than the fact that obviously Wasatch just got a run, and that's a huge deal, I want to come back to Alex Gutierrez again for our UCCU spark of the game. Gutierrez got down 1-2 in his at-bat, and then he just did what Alex does. He worked the count, was able to work a walk. From the point he got down 1-2, Barrett has now had to throw 15 more pitches in this inning alone, with another pitch or more pending at this point in the inning, which puts him up to 63 pitches already in this one, and we're only in the bottom of the third.
Goes with the fastball on the outside corner. Jack Bluth swings and misses. Second strikeout of the game for Jack Bluth. But Wasatch pushes 1 run across on 1 hit. No errors for Springville, but Wasatch leaves 2 on base. It's 1-0 here on 94.5 The Peak.
Gucci Goo Barbecue in Heber Valley is a premier barbecue restaurant. You can choose from finger-licking ribs, poppin' andouille sausage, tasty chicken, tender brisket, delicious pork, and yummy street tacos. Friday night dates, take that significant other for the smoked prime rib that melts in your mouth. Family-friendly atmosphere where everyone is welcome, quick service for dine-in or takeout, great quality food, and great value for your money. That's Gucci Goo in Midway on Main Street.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hirst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Flooring and Paints. This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Going into the top of the fourth, Wasatch Behavior Health was founded in 1967 to provide quality mental health care for all individuals within Utah and Wasatch counties. Wasatch Behavior Health is a comprehensive community behavioral health center. We offer a wide array of programs and services for children, teens, and adults. Wasatch leads 1-0 after scoring 1 run in the bottom of the third inning on an RBI single by Cole Zimmerman. Update on the softball team tie, 3-1 as Springville knocking on the door here in the top of the fourth, trying to get those 3 runs back that Wasatch scored in the bottom of the third. Ball 1, leadoff hitter is Esplin, hitting from the right-hand side, swings and misses at the 1-0 pitch, moves the count to 1-1. Only 1 base runner for Springville so far through 3 innings on a single by their number 4 hitter. The 1-1 pitch here to Esplin. Swung on, fouled off to Coach Polson at third base. Moves the count to 1-2. Update on our Wasps on campus. Ty Nick Greenhot in his most recent series went 0 for 2 with 3 walks. Did score 1 run. He's now hitting .254 on the year with 4 home runs and 10 RBIs. Vassar is 12 and 18 on the year. And an interesting fact, Ty. Mighty Ducks, you know the Mighty Ducks?
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah,
Connie Moreau, you know Connie, the girl player, went to Vassar College. She graduated from Vassar College.
No kidding.
Yep.
Nick's there with some celebrities there.
Check swing, it doesn't go, so moves the count to 2-2.
It's got to be Hall of Fame worthy at Vassar, right?
Sure.
Mighty Duck.
That's what Nick has to look forward to.
You're a big Mighty Duck fan yourself, aren't you?
Love the Mighty Ducks. 2-2 pitch here. Swung on and fouled off to the right side. Stay at 2-2. Chandler Stocking, Ty, had a really good series against Florida A&M over the weekend. 1 for 2 in game 1 and 3 for 4 in game 2. So 4 for 6 for the series. 1 run scored. Jackson Kelson goes with the curveball here. It's fouled off again. 1 run scored and an RBI. Chandler has now a 3-game hitting streak for Alabama A&M. Good to see Chandler wake up the bat a little bit. It's been kind of quiet in the box. Now hitting over 200 after having a couple of good series. The 2-2 pitch again, swung on right back up the middle. Bucad waiting for it. Throws it across the diamond. Automatic for Carter Bucad. That's the first out of the inning.
Waiting
4-6.
Waiting for it is right, Tyler.
6-4.
I wish I could show instant replay to our listeners. I'm going to have to just try to explain it instead. That was amazing to me because Carter, before the pitch got to the batter, was moving in that direction. And it wasn't like he was late. It was like he had a sense for where that pitch was going to go. I looked up, and just the way that we're sitting here, Tyler, it was really easy to see Carter moving his prep step into that position. It made it so easy for him to feel the ball that was hit hard up the middle. He's just got a little sixth sense about him there at shortstop that gets him to balls a little bit easier than other guys.
Curveball swung on, elevated to the outfield. That ball has a chance, but with the wind blowing in, it gets held up in the wind, and Cole Zimmerman will make the out. For out number 2 is a fly out to the right fielder. Good swing, good pop by Barrett. And also he's been awesome on the mound. He's got a really pretty swing.
Pretty
from the
swing,
left-hand
Tyler.
side.
But that's a young man's swing, isn't it? You've got to recognize into the wind. That's what the other pitcher wants you to do. Go ahead and serve that thing up into the sky and let the ball just get batted down by the wind. That was a youthful, what I would almost phrase as a more prideful swing, Tyler, where there's no reason that ball needs to be skied up in that direction. He could have easily put that down on a line a little bit more.
Lauke comes up, had a single up the middle in his first at bat. The only base runner of the ball game for Springville. He comes up with 2 outs, fouls off the first pitch, takes ball 1 on the second pitch, moves the count to 1-1. Looks like Wasatch got out of the inning over on the softball side of things. Still 3-1 over there. Lauke asks for a time, does not get it rewarded, but Kelson misses high, moves the count to 2-1. Jackson Kelson on the day now, 46 pitches.
Yeah, he's really in a good spot right now, Tyler. If you can get this last out here in the 4th inning.
Trying to be a little bit careful against the guy that has the lone single of the game as he now falls down 3-1. Luque, as mentioned, good hitter. 20 RBIs, 5 home runs on the year. Was 1 for 3 last year against Wasatch as a freshman. Swings at a fastball there and misses. Moves the count to full.
Well, he was trying to tie this up with one swing there. That was a dead pull swing.
Just don't think it's going to happen on a day like today.
Well, it was the opposite swing, Tyler, of what you saw in his first at bat, though. That first one, he was disciplined and drove it hard the other way. That time he was going for, as the kids will say, elevate to celebrate, Tyler, trying to get that ball up in the air.
Crew Erickson playing very deep in center field. Tragan Shaw playing about normal depth, and so is Cole Zimmerman. Full count pitch here in the the top of the 4th. Another time is called by Lauke.
I wouldn't put it past this kid to be able to drive one out, though. If he gets it pulled down that left field line, Tyler.
Have the curling home run.
Yeah, the wind's blowing out kind of straight from right to left right now.
Payoff pitch is swung on. He's going to go the opposite way, and the wind's going to push it foul into the warning track, and we'll reset at 3-2.
Yeah, at this point, he'd have to start about left center to keep that thing fair with how the wind is blowing right now in left field.
Only a sophomore, back-to-back sophomores in the 3 and 4 spot for the Springville Red Devils. Other than that, all seniors and 1 junior.
But you know they've got a bright future because those are their 1-2 guys on the mound as well, Tyler. So 3-4 at the plate, 1-2 on the mound, and you're set if you're Springville, and you can just piece together things around those 2.
Nice off-speed pitch here that's fouled off by Lauke. Good battle here on the mound and in the box by Jackson Kelson and Springville's best hitter. Reset again with 2 outs and a full count. Nobody on base for the Red Devils. Kelson sets. High late kick. The payoff.
I like that pitch.
Got him. Outside corner a little bit up, and he gets him looking. That's strikeout number 5 for Jackson Kelson. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Wasps.
He shook him off. He went with the shake there, and Jackson shook emphatically, and I think it put into the sophomore's mind a breaking pitch was coming. And he came back with his hard one. When he shook, the thought process in my mind was, come with your best, Jackson. Come with the fastball, and that's exactly what he did. He went hard on the outside and froze the 4-hitter of Springville. Wasatch is dealing right now, Ty.
Yeah, no runs on no hits. 89 miles per hour on that last pitch from Jackson Kelson. Nobody left on base. Wasatch leads 1-0 going into the bottom of the 4th.
Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is a family-owned and operated business serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for over 7 years. For a burger with kick, try the Firehouse. Have a hankering for some seafood? Try fish and chips. Or try the Mandarin chicken salad. Their homemade recipes, freshly grilled burgers and sandwiches are complemented with unique sauces and homemade sides. They provide the best experience and highest quality food. Stop by today and try their great menu items. As a thank you to teachers, first responders, medical personnel, and military, get 15% off meals all year round.
Hi, this is Abby Covarrubias, the Wasatch High School Student Body President. Did you know that parents are the #1 reason kids don't drink? Believe it or not, teens still listen to their parents. In fact, kids usually listen to their parents more than anyone else, including their friends. Utah kids report the #1 reason they choose not to drink is their parents' strongest approval. All kids need a parent's help to stay drug and alcohol free. Brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health and the Parent Bonding Project.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Dorius Dental offers no surprises in dental treatment. Dr. Dorius and Dr. Proctor, let Dorius Dental make your mouth smile. Learn more at DoriusDental.com. Well, Springville got 2 runs in the top of the 4th on the softball side of things, Ty. So that was a 3-2 score. But Paige Armendariz had something to say about that. A 2-run home run to right center field puts the score back up 5-2 for the Lady Wasps. It's 1-0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning on the baseball side of things. Kelson Stocking falls down 0-2 after taking strike 1 and a swing and a miss on strike 2. The run came on an Alex Gutierrez run on an RBI single from Cole Zimmerman in the bottom of the 3rd. 5 Ks for Jackson Kelson on the mound right now, as he has only given up 1 base runner so far on a single up the middle in the 2nd inning. 1-2 now the count. The pitch. Off-speed pitch. That's a good off-speed pitch on the inside corner, and Kelson Stocking with his 2nd strikeout looking on the day.
Kelson, both his at-bats, unfortunately, I think have been the best pitches from Barrett on the day. That was an amazing curveball, Tyler. He brought that on the inside corner, and that thing bit so hard down at his ankles, there was no chance Kelson was getting that ball. And the first at-bat, they went with a hard fastball on the outer half. So now Kelson's seen the extreme of both sides. Curveball coming down hard on the inside part of his ankles, and then the fastball tailing away from him on the outer half.
It's going to bring up Jackson Kelson, who struck out swinging in his first at-bat. He'll take ball 1. That pitch in there for a strike moves the count to 1-1. On deck for the Wasps would be Jackson Sorensen. This trio came up to bat in the 2nd inning, and all 3 struck out in the inning. Already a strikeout in this one. Swing and a miss for strike 2, moves the count to 1-2. Again, Wasatch leads 1-0 on the Dorius Dental scoreboard. The 1-2 pitch gets the outside corner. 2nd strikeout looking of the inning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strikeouts now for Barrett for the Springville Red Devils. Nope, I miscounted, Ty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strikeouts now.
I've got him at 10, Ty.
I've got him at 10 too. I
And he
just
hit
counted.
Jackson
I
as
just
well.
counted 3 times and got it wrong all 3 times.
Well, you got to ask over here at the book for a second. I got the book over here for a reason. I can help you out. Sorensen gets hit by pitch while you're doing your math over and over here, and Wasatch has a base runner.
Good job there from Jackson Sorensen. Gets another base runner for the Wasps. He's going to bring up Carter Bucad, who flew out to left field in his first at bat. Had 2 hits yesterday against Salem Hills. Pitch count now for Barrett up to 73 pitches through 3 2/3 innings. Comes back with a strike there with fastball. Wasatch seeming to not be too aggressive, right? I think they've gone with the approach of let's see some pitches here at Barrett and try to run his pitch count up a little bit.
Well, and it's the right move at this point in the ball game, Tyler. He's starting to get up there a little bit in his pitch count.
Second one is fouled off into the backstop, moves the count to 0-2.
Only into the 4th inning here. You'd like to chase him by the 5th. That's kind of the idea if you're Wasatch. Get him out of there and try to get a pitcher who maybe has to go over 35 pitches in the bullpen.
It's going to be swung on right at the first baseman, who's going to field it, step on the bag, and that will do it for the bottom half of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner is left on base as we see the score at 1-0 going into the top of the 5th here on 94.5 The Peak.
Napa know-how.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts, 105 North Main Street in Heber City, a proud sponsor of Wasatch Wasps Sports.
Napa know-how.
Hi, friend. Are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best of State for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today. This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Guild Mortgage. Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage and his team will help you find the perfect mortgage that fits your situation. Stop on in to Guild Mortgage. Softball team is brought out the lumber tie. Charlie Clough just hit one off of the scoreboard to move the score to 7-2. Up for the Springville Red Devils, Gage, the second baseman, popped out on a bunt in his first at bat. He's going to swing at the first pitch and foul it to the third base side for 0-1. Top of the fifth action, Wasatch leads 1-0. It's been a pitcher's duel. Nice curveball there for a swing and a miss. Barrett for the Red Devils, 10 Ks out of 12 outs so far in the ball game, as he has been lights out on the mound, but Wasatch was able to push one across. In the bottom of the third, Jackson Kelson's been good as well for the Wasps. 5 Ks. He's going to spike this one. Moves the count to 1-2. Ty, I'm a big The Natural fan. Roy Hobbs, Robert Redford, and one of my favorite is when he puts one off the clock, off the scoreboard clock against the Cubs.
It's a great movie moment. It's great baseball cinema there, Ty.
Always had the dream of doing that, and Charlie Clough just did it for the softball team off the top of the scoreboard over in left field. Strikeout looking, nice curveball on the outside corner. That is physical at the pit stop, strikeout number 6.
Let me help you out here, Ty. I got the digital version. You're in the old school book over there. 6 now. So in this game, Tyler, we've had 25 outs. Get my math right, and there have been 16 strikeouts out of the 25 outs in this one. It's been a pitcher's duel where they are lighting up the scoreboard with the Ks.
It's going to bring up the catcher, Polson. He struck out looking in his first at bat, 265 batting average on the year. Ball 1, strike 1, as the count's now 1-1 with 1 out. Yeah, not often that a baseball game, it goes quicker than the softball game, but right now at a faster pace over here on the baseball side. The 1-1 pitch is fouled off. It's going to go over close to the softball field. Moves count to 1-2. And I think that might have got somebody hearing the reaction over on that side. 1-2 the count. Kelson kicks, delivers. It's going to be a lazy ground ball to Chet. Chet picks it up, throws it quickly over to Jackson Sorensen. Nice play by Chet Wilson. And Wasatch has 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Man, the left side of the infield has been so good for the Wasps in the last couple of series.
Yeah, and that play in particular, Tyler, we talked about the pitcher's duel, and I know I've highlighted it already, but you can have a tendency in high school especially to let your mind wander a little bit, fall asleep a little bit, when there's not a lot of balls in play. Chet was all over that thing. The moment that ball was in play, he was crashing hard, set his feet well, and was able to get himself set and fire over a strong strike over there to first base. He's really evolved well at third base this year. Early on, the footwork, he was trying to get comfortable on approaching balls like that, but now he's played a good third base over the last couple games.
We got a Mirror Lake Station cup check by the catcher, Kelson Stocking, as number 1, Bronson, the shortstop, squared for a drag bunt here.
I didn't know that was a sponsorship there, Ty.
I think if we give a sponsor, it's to David Wade at the Mirror Lake Station.
Well, as a former catcher himself, he probably can appreciate that.
0-1 count as the pitch is fouled off. That's a good idea from Bronson, Ty. You got somebody mowing on the mound, try to drop a drag bunt down to see if you can make something happen. Isn't able to do it, and now a pitch on the outside corner moves the count to 0-2. Different Jackson Kelson today, Ty. He has been lights out on the mound, similar to what we saw at the start of the year after a couple of shaky starts. He has been good in this game. 0-2 pitch is fouled off to the backstop, and we'll reset here with 2 outs.
Ty, the Springville team coming into this game had a team batting average of 300 is where they currently sit at. Now, one of their big bats is not in the lineup. That's DeLamas. He was hitting over 440, Tyler, and again had a broken hand and so they maybe are struggling. But Wasatch, again, is without one of their big bats in Peyton Swap, who's out of the lineup as well. Wasatch so far has gotten the timely hit. Each team only with one hit in this one, Tyler, but Wasatch had it with runners in scoring position.
A couple of curveballs on the outside part of the plate missed, so that brings up deuces now. 2 outs, 2-2 count. High kick, the delivery, it's in there and fouled off to the soccer field side. Good at bat here for the shortstop Brunson. Only 217 on the year. Was 0 for 2 last year with the K. Struck out in his first at bat today. Keeps it at 2-2. Crew Erickson shaded a little bit to the left side. The 2-2 pitch. Tries to go curveball down. Doesn't get Brunson to chase. And we'll reset with the count at full. Jackson now at 66 pitches on the day. Still a really good pace for Jackson Kelson. The payoff pitch. It's swung on right back at Kelson. Hits off his hip. He'll pick it up, throw it to Jackson Sorensen at first.
Just so casual about it.
That's a good barrel there from Brunson on a good at bat, but he gets the out anyway as Wasatch has their 3rd straight inning of 3 straight. Tate Shaw, one of our listeners, laughing that I would laugh out loud. Check and then add the pitcher.
He kind of hopped out of the way, Tyler, and it hit him in the good fat part of the leg in the thigh, and it dropped down right in front. And then it was funny. It was like he kind of looked around like, are we still playing? I'll just walk to this thing and pick it up and throw you out, and laughed on his way out. Wasatch is dealing right now, though.
Yeah, no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. As we're going to keep it here for the 5th inning stretch. Again, this 5th inning brought to you by Guild Mortgage. Stop on into Guild Mortgage just to get educated, Ty. There's a lot happening in the Heber Valley, especially on the real estate side of things. Tom Stone will let you know if a mortgage, selling your home, or refinance is the best option for you. Stop on in at Guild Mortgage. Ty, let's throw it over to you for Gordon Law Group. Game recap so far.
Well, this is a baseball purist dream game over here, Tyler, but those that don't understand the game as much, you look at this, and these are the ones that the people say, this is a boring game. It's 1-0 heading into the bottom of the 5th inning, but it's been beautiful baseball here. A pitcher's duel for sure. Springville's Barrett, a sophomore Arizona State commit, is dealing against the Wasatch Wasps right now. To this point in the ball game, through 4 innings pitched, he has struck out 10 out of the 12 hitters, Tyler, and coming by strikeout from Barrett. Wasatch on the other side, 5 innings pitched by Jackson Kelson, and he has gone toe-to-toe with this pitcher duel. 6 strikeouts for Jackson Kelson. He's had some good defensive support behind him, but both these guys are dealing in the ball game. Only 1 hit from Springville. It was a single up the middle, and Wasatch on the other side only has 1 hit themselves. It was Cole Zimmerman who got a single through the left side. The difference is this. Wasatch has been able to find their way on through a few walks, Tyler. Alex Gutierrez has been really good as far as battling in the box. He's been able to get on by air and walk. He was ultimately the only run that scored. Chet Wilson also walked in that inning, and that's the difference in the ballgame at this point. Wasatch leads 1-0.
Wasatch has the top of the order up. This will be the 3rd time that Wasatch will see Barrett. Crew Erickson with a couple of strikeouts, but he was right on that fastball, Ty. Fouled it straight back into the backstop.
Probably come back with a breaking pitch here.
He's going to try to drag bunt. He's going to go down the first base side. Good bunt here from Crew. It's a race to the bag. Is he in time?
What a good play.
He's not in time. Great single bunt there. Is a great play by the pitcher as well, but not in time. As Crew Erickson has yet another infield base knock. Coach Polson doesn't agree with the call. Well, he's going to come out and talk to the umpire.
Unless the foot was pulled, Tyler, I thought the ball beat it there too, and that's what I was saying. Good play. I couldn't believe the pitcher got that ball down there. The lefty coming across had to change it, like get his shoulder squared around and swing it around and then shovel that ball over to first base. I thought Crew was going to be there easily, but it was a great play from the pitcher to get the ball down there. Umpire had, obviously better angle than us. Where we're sitting, the dugout kind of comes into play and impedes it a little bit, Ty. But I'm curious to see if this call gets overturned, because from my perspective, I actually thought the ball beat Crew there.
Well, umpires are discussing it. This pause in the action brought to you by Mirror Lake Station, voted best donuts in Utah. Mirror Lake Station is your one-stop shop for gas, groceries, and goodies. New owners David and Kristen Wade invite you to swing by and say hello this season at Mirror Lake Station. I think that's a good job from Polson there. That's definitely one you want to discuss. This is such a tight ball game, and any base runner is a big deal. Great bunt there from Crew. He recognized that the first baseman was playing way deep, and usually tries to go down the third base side. This time he went down the first base side and gets an infield single.
You think Lakai is expecting the bunt here, Tyler? Before Gutierrez steps in the box, the third baseman for Springville is about 60 feet away right now.
And he is going to bunt. It's going to be high and inside. Gutierrez pulls back. Good speed from Crew at first base. He swiped 3 bases yesterday against Salem Hills.
I may let him swing it, Ty. With where he's now about 50 feet away is all. I'd come across early and then just try to poke it that way. That's an easy hit waiting.
He's going to go bunt, and instead he's going to pop it up, and that's going to be out number 1. As you mentioned, Ty, Lakai was only about 20 yards away from Alex Gutierrez.
It's so easy. Even if he gets that bunt down, Tyler, he's going to turn and throw that at second and get a double play on that. He was standing in Alex's pocket with that ball. You got to do something different there if you're Wasatch and recognize that defensively.
It's going to bring up Chet Wilson. Lakai still playing shallow over at third base. High lay kicks, high and inside. Runner on first, 1 out. It's only the second hit of the game.
Chet's in his head a little bit. He's not been around the zone when Chet's coming up to the plate here.
1 strikeout, 1 walk for Chet in the ball game. .389 batting average. Having himself a couple of good days at the plate. 5 RBIs in his last 2 games. This ball spiked as well. Rare there. Crew Erickson doesn't go on a ball in the dirt. And Polson wants to talk to Barrett, try to calm him down a little bit. It's 7-2 over on the softball side of things, Ty, as Paige Armendariz and Charlie Clough both with 2-run homers in the bottom of the 4th.
I'm not so sure this isn't a bad time maybe to go hit and run here, Tyler. Barrett's been around the zone most of the game. He's thrown 6 straight balls to Chet Wilson. I can't imagine there's going to be coming back with another ball here. But Chet's a good fastball hitter. I think that's probably where Barrett will come here.
0-2, and that one is in there for a strike. Nice. He's gone to that breaking pitch when he's had struggles with command. He went with back-to-back breaking balls against Cole Zimmerman when he walked Gutierrez and Wilson back in the 3rd. 2-1 count now with 1 out. Crew's going to go on first move, and he's going to be safe at first base. I actually think it was a balk.
They called a balk, yeah.
So a balk call there as Crew, and I think that's a good move, Ty. Barrett had a move earlier in the game that wasn't great, and so if they notice that, and with Coach Sweat coaching first base, he's all on top of those things, and he said, let's go on first move if you see that high leg kick, and that's what happened there. As Barrett went with the high leg kick, Crew went. He would have been safe either way. Great job there from Crew, and now Wasatch has a duck on the pond with 1 out.
Yeah, it would have been safe because he went on that move, Tyler, but also Esplin, the first baseman, threw a floater over there, and Crew must have been in the throwing lane. Esplin didn't clear, and he threw a floater down. It was a little high. Crew had that thing beat out.
It's got to be a frustrating season for Polson, and this game's by far from over, but you just have lost so many tight games, and Wasatch now knocking on the door again to try to push that second run across.
Yeah, if you missed our Dairy King pregame show, we talked about how Wasatch, we thought had suffered heartbreak. They've lost 5 games in the last inning by 1 run. Springville's outdone them. They've lost 7 games by 1-run deficits in this one. These are pretty good teams, Tyler. Spanish Fork, Dixie, Jordan, a couple of those 1-run games that they've lost.
Runner on second, 2-1 count for the number 3 hitter, Chet Wilson. The pitch. Nice fastball, low and outside, gets a called strike, moves the count to 2-2. You mentioned Jordan, Ty. They're currently number 3 in the Deseret News rankings. Spanish Fork number 1, Lehigh 2, Jordan 3, Orem 4, Park City 5, according to the Deseret News. The 2-2, swung on and missed. Nice off-speed pitch on the inside part of the plate that time as Chet Wilson has his second strikeout of the game. That'll bring up Cole Zimmerman, who had a single and an RBI single in his last at-bat. Walked in his first at-bat. He's had a nice day at the plate today. Has another opportunity here with Crew at second base. Great speed. Anything to the outfield should score Crew here. 2 outs. Barrett sets, delivers. Nice fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Your RPI rankings right now, Lehigh jumped Park City. Park City lost to Murray yesterday, so Lehigh is your new number 1 ranked team in the RPI. Park City number 2, Spanish number 3, Orem number 4, and Jordan number 5. 0-1 pitch is low, and it gets away from the catcher. Crew's going to try to get to third. Not in time. Good job there from Crew. So now for sure, a base knock should score Crew, but it also puts a pass ball opportunity here for Wasatch to score on a pass ball. 1-1 count with 2 outs. Pretty good play there from Polson. It was a late jump from Crew as that ball squeaked through the lays. Didn't have a great angle to see that ball get away from the catcher.
You surprised to see that Lehigh team up to number 1. That's who Wasatch beat out at the first round of the state tournament last year. Had some really good youth.
I just haven't seen them this year, but yeah, 18-4, they're having a good year, and it's not like it's a bad region, right? Orem, Alta, you got some good teams in that
region. Some good youth and some good move-ins. The Madsen boys now playing there at Lehigh, and that's that Madsen family that is connected to UVU. Dad was the head coach at Utah Valley University and their baseball program for a while, so the youth got older and got a few good move-ins as well.
Crew is going to go on a ball that's outside of the zone. Not in time is the catcher. Great jump there from Crew Erickson. As a couple of pass balls that get away from the catcher, Crew's speed crosses the plate as that ball just got outside of the dirt. And Crew Erickson does a good job at breaking home, and Wasatch takes the 2-0 lead.
They call that a stolen base, Tyler, but that, as much as anything I've ever seen, felt like a stolen base. Crew running by the catcher, who's trying to reach back and swipe him, and he's going the other direction as that ball trickled up the third base line. And Crew Erickson just kind of single-handedly took that run away, bunted his way on, swiped second on a balk, got third on a ball that really had no business taking third on, and then just gambled and took home. And it came just in time as Cole Zimmerman goes down looking, but Wasatch sneaks across another run, doing what it takes to win this game, Ty.
One run on one hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. It's 2-0 as we go into the top of the sixth on 94.5 The Peak.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasps Football Stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
You might be used to having someone ask you the question, what is it that you need? I think that's limiting. I'm going to take you through a 6-step process, and it's simply answering questions. And it might not just be home. It might be that you want that fancy new car. It might be that you want trips. It's your list. What is it that you really, really want?
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. MLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice. This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Top of the sixth, brought to you by Wasatch Back Grill and Deli, a family-owned and operated business that has been serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for the past 7 years. That's Wasatch Back Grill and Deli. Leading it off for the Springville Red Devils will be Aconia. Lined out to the first baseman in his first at-bat. He falls down 0-2 in this at-bat. Jackson Kelson humming on the mound, only giving up one base runner today through 5 innings, and that was on a single in the second inning. Nearly has a hit by pitch. Instead, that ball is going to go off the umpire. Kelson Stocking trying to apologize, as I think Kelson Stocking thought that was going to go off the hitter as well. It'll earn a trip to the mound. Again, another tripper is David and Kristen Wade. Invite you to swing by. Weather's supposed to be good this week. A little bit of clouds out there in the sky right now, but it's been a nice day besides the wind. And a fun game. Wasatch softball pushes another run across, and that's now an 8-2 lead. So after losing 6-5 in their first outing against Springville, they're pouring it on here at home with an 8-2 lead right now in the bottom of the fifth. 0-2 pitch, swung on up the middle. Carbacad fields it, throws it to Jackson Sorensen at first. Another 6-4 put out to lead off the inning here in the top of the sixth.
Pretty baseball, and a lot of confidence from these pitchers. Jackson Kelson just watching that ball go by, not even making an attempt at it, because he just feels so much confidence in his infield behind him, and he should. They've played really well over the course of this season.
2-0 the score, one out here in the top of the sixth. It's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, Thorpe. 1 for 2 on the year, only has 2 at-bats, struck out in his first at-bat of this ball game. Fastball too far outside, 1-0 the count. Your infield today for the Wasps, Chet Wilson, Carter Bucott, Jack Bluth, Jackson Sorensen, they've been good in the game today. Fastball is going to be swung on, and that's a base knock through the 3-4 hole, so the number 9 hitter for Springville has the second hit of the game between the first and second baseman. And so with 1 out, that'll bring up the top of the order. Averett, strikeout and a ground out to the second baseman today. 308 batting average on the year, playing center field for the Red Devils. Good swing there from the DH. It's only the second base runner of the day. That's the first base runner since the top of the second inning. Wasatch had retired 10 straight batters before that. Single right there. But Jackson Kelson comes right back with a fastball down the middle of the plate, moves the count to 0-1.
Well, that's the best number, Tyler, that Jackson Kelson has is 0 walks. Only 2 runners, and they've both been hits. Springville's had to earn their way on. And there have been some tight moments. Jackson's been to a full count multiple times in this one, and he's come back and he's battled in that to get the hitter out. And that's been the biggest improvement for him here. His fastball's been good. He's struck out a lot of guys in this game, but it's the no free passes through walks and hit by pitch that has really made the difference at this point in the game.
Another fastball moves the count to 0-2. Another good pitch there from Kelson, and he goes up 0-2 on the leadoff hitter. Up on deck will be Esplin, who's grounded out to the shortstop twice today. Big lead for the first base runner. 0-2 pitch, swung on, fouled off to the right side. We'll reset at 0-2. Thorpe again, only 3 at-bats on the day, or on the season. He's 2 for 3 in those 3 at-bats. Big lead by Thorpe at first base. Jackson Kelson looks, he'll step off the back of the mound. Getting some coaching from behind the backstop from somebody.
There's never a shortage, is there?
No, of course not.
But the shotgun mic gets you up close and personal there, doesn't it? Microphone that we've got behind the dish today.
0-2 pitch, swung on, fouled at Coach Polson at third base. And we'll reset once again at 0-2. Gott Averett struck out looking in his first at-bat. Had a ground out to Jack Bluth his last at-bat.
This Wasatch team, an interesting side note here, Tyler, they've really moved to a pretty unfamiliar high school role where it's almost you've got your traditional field players and then a pitching staff, almost a true pitching staff. You look across the diamond here, and most of the defense is just playing the same defensive spot, and they rarely come into pitch.
0-2 pitch is elevated down the right field line. Cole Zimmerman has to run a long ways, but he'll settle underneath it and make the second out of the inning. 0 for 3 on the day now is Averett, and that's going to bring up the number 2 hitter, Esplin. Again, a couple of ground outs to the shortstop in both of his at-bats today. Yeah, you mentioned the pitching staff, Ty. Similar trajectories right now for these Wasatch teams from last year to this year. Last year's team took second in region. This year's team right now set in second place behind Spanish Fork. And as you look at the stats, Ty, it's kind of a tale of 2 different teams, although the pitching staff for Wasatch is starting to come on here as the season goes on. Last year, only a .308 batting average for Wasatch at this point in the season. This Wasatch team hitting .352 on the year. That's one of the best batting averages in the state. Top 5 in the state is that .352 batting average. Also have a 13 more hits at this point, 5 more home runs at this point, and have scored 50 more runs at this point compared to last year's team.
Well, that makes a difference in the win-loss record, that's for sure.
Nice curveball in there for a strike here to Esplin. But you look at the pitching side of things, Ty. Last year's pitching staff was good. At this point, 3.34 ERA, and only given up 53 earned runs in 111 innings pitched, and had 130 strikeouts. This year's group has given up about 40 more runs and have quite a few less strikeouts, but the fielding percentage is really good, Ty. 96% fielding percentage by this team. 0-2 count here as Jackson Kelson goes up 0-2 on Esplin.
Well,
2 outs here in the top of the 6th. The 0-2 swung on and fouled.
They're just out hitting teams, Tyler. But not just that, this game's a good example of they're getting timely hits against teams as well. Springville's out hit Wasatch in this one, but Wasatch leads. Well, I guess they're tied, 2 hits apiece at this point. But Wasatch leads 2-0 because they've gotten the timely hits to push some runs across the board.
The 0-2 again, outside corner, doesn't get the called strike, moves the count back to 1-2.
Well, they found it. They found the limit of that outside call from the umpire
that's
here.
Right.
That's about as close as it's been. They've gotten that call to this point in the game, both pitchers. But that one was probably just a hair too far outside.
Baseball in play causes a pause in the action. Runner on first, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Wasatch leads 2-0. It's been a pitching duel, only 4 total hits, 2 for each team on the day. Wasatch is taking advantage as they pushed a run across in the bottom of the 3rd and another run across in the bottom of the 5th. A good lead for Thorpe at first base here with 2 outs. Kelson up 1-2, delivers the 1-2. Curveball elevated to center field. Crew Erickson back to his left, settles underneath it, makes the grab, and Wasatch is out of the 6th inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. 1 runner is left on base. Wasatch leads 2-0 as we go into the bottom of the 6th.
Hi, this is Nicole with Mountain Refined Furnishings and Flooring, and if you didn't know, we've recently partnered with Mattress Warehouse of Utah to bring you the largest selection of mattresses around. The team at Mountain Refined prides themselves on making your home a place where you love to be. We offer a large selection of furnishings, flooring, window treatments, gifts, decor, and so much more. If you haven't been by lately, stop and check it out. You'll be pleasantly surprised. We're located at 480 North Main Street.
Heber City Point S is locally owned and operated by Larry Rhodes and Brad Hyatt. They offer the best brand tires at low prices with extensive knowledge and experience of repair and services with no pressure sales. Only what you need. They've been taking care of cars, trucks, and trailers for over 20 years. No appointment needed, conveniently located, free shuttle service, and free Wi-Fi. Take $5 off your next visit when you tell them 94.5 The Peak sent you over. That's Heber City Point S. This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Sixth inning action. Time for a Dorius Dental scoreboard update. Doctors Dorius and Proctor take pride in making your mouth smile. For more information, visit DoriusDental.com. Wasatch leading the Springville Red Devils 2-0 at home. And it's been a pitcher's duel, a fun one to watch. Each team only with 2 hits in this ball game. The pitchers have been lights out good in this one. Mirror Lake Station, also proud supporter of Wasatch High School athletics. Stop on to Mirror Lake Station today. Gas, groceries, goodies, and more located in Camas.
Yeah, out of the 15 outs that Wasatch has committed in the game, 12 of which have been strikeouts by Barrett. He's been really good, and Wasatch just has been able to manufacture 2 runs on 2 hits. Jack Blue's going to swing at the first pitch. Doesn't get over the second baseman's head. Second baseman makes the catch, and that's 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Jack went after the first pitch. He had gotten deep into counts his previous 2 at-bats and didn't have success. Struck out in both of those. Lines out to the second baseman there. Kelson Stocking has struck out twice in this game. 1 for 5 in his last 5 at-bats. Going back to the last series, he's going to take a ball on the inside part. Barrett now up to 92 pitches on the day. This will probably be the last inning for Barrett as he misses on the inside once again. Wasatch down to their last 3 outs, though. They won't have to have their last ups if they get the last 3. 2-0, bottom of the 6th. Nice curveball, but still misses on the inside. So 3-0 now to Kelson Stocking here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pitch in there for a strike, moves the count to 3-1. As I was looking at stats, Ty, I'm a numbers guy, and just started crunching some numbers, and I just want to give a shout out to Jackson Bolander. I don't think we've given him enough credit, as that's ball 4. Kelson Stocking earns his first trip to the base pass here in the bottom of the 6th. So in his last 25 innings, Ty, he's only given up 13 hits, 7 walks, 26 strikeouts, and has only given up 2 runs in his last 25 innings pitched. He's just simply been lights out. Since he had a shaky start in his first one, gave up 3 runs against Lone Peak, but then since then, he has been really, really good. Ball 1 here to Jackson Kelson, who steps up to the plate.
Well, and the nice thing here, just comparing year to year to year with Jackson Bolander, is he's coming on stronger at the end of the season. Last year, it felt like maybe he was losing some steam towards the end of the year. That doesn't seem to be the case this year, Tyler. Only 2 series left here, 2 region games left to throw, and then state tournament time, and he seems to be getting better, as you pointed out, with those stats.
Misses high and outside, so now the count to 2-1. Barrett looks to be getting a little bit fatigued out on the mound for Coach Polson. Yeah, if you look over the last 2 years, Ty, 96 innings pitched and only 34 earned runs given up in 96 innings. Good enough for a 2.4 ERA for the Wasatch Ace over the last 2 years. 118 strikeouts in those 96 innings pitched as well.
Those are some pretty incredible numbers. And Tyler, actually, he's really excited to go to Lane College, where he's going to go play. And I kind of asked him, I said, why Lane? Because that's a smaller school, and you could have held out probably for a much bigger offer. And he's a man that has direction and goals. He wants to go up there because his ultimate goal is to play at Oregon, and he wasn't quite to the Oregon level yet with his velocity. But Lane Community College is on the same campus as Oregon, University of Oregon, that is. And so they get to kind of work out and do similar things, kind of network and connect there. And so hopefully after a couple years at Lane, we'll see Jackson Bolander transitioning to play at Oregon and wearing the Ducks colors up there.
Jackson Kelson's going to go down looking. That's strikeout number 3 for Jackson Kelson today. It's going to bring up Jackson Sorensen. Struck out in his first at-bat, was hit by pitch in his second at-bat.
You know, it's strikeout number 3, Tyler, but he saw 6 pitches. He worked the count up to 102 pitches now for Barrett. If Jackson Sorensen can go deep here and get to Bukad, this will be his last inning. Wasatch will chase him by the 7th. You need to get him up. I can't imagine that Springville is going to bring him out in the 7th either way at this point, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is you can make a pitching change here in the 6th inning with runners in scoring position, and that can usually be a big moment. You bring in a different pitcher, a little bit slower velocity, get a knock with runners in scoring position.
The 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike on the outside corner, moves the count to 1-1. Tad Sulzer in, running for Kelson Stocking at the speed-up position. The 1-1 inside, but called strike, moves the count to 1-2. Carter Bukad on deck for the Wasps. Wasatch up 2-0 here in the bottom of the 6th with 2 outs. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So another 2 strikeout inning for Barrett. He's up to 14 strikeouts on the day.
That'll likely do it for him, Tyler. That puts him at 106 pitches. So they'll have to bring out a different pitcher in the 7th.
If needed. It's down to 3 outs for the Wasps. Their lead 2-0 here as we go into the top of the 7th inning on 94.5 The Peak.
Gucci Goo Barbecue in Heber Valley is a premier barbecue restaurant. You can choose from finger-licking ribs, poppin' andouille sausage, tasty chicken, tender brisket, delicious pork, and yummy street tacos. Friday night dates, take that significant other for the smoked prime rib that melts in your mouth. Family-friendly atmosphere where everyone is welcome, quick service for dine-in or takeout, great quality food, and great value for your money. That's Gucci Goo in Midway on Main Street.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hirst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Flooring and Paint.
Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is a family-owned and operated business serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for over 7 years. For a burger with kick, try the Firehouse. Have a hankering for some seafood? Try fish and chips. Or try the Mandarin chicken salad. Their homemade recipes, freshly grilled burgers and sandwiches are complemented with unique sauces and homemade sides. They provide the best experience and highest quality food. Stop by today and try their great menu items. As a thank you to teachers, first responders, medical personnel, and military, get 15% off meals all year round.
5, 4, 3, 2. KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Well, when revenge is on the mound for the softball team, Ty, they mean it. 12-2 as they 10-run rule Springville in 5 innings. After losing 6-5 their first outing, they come out and lay the bats down. 12-2. The win there for the softball team over Salem Hills. Here on this one, we're in the top of the 7th. Wasatch leads 2-0. It's been a gem for Jackson Kelson so far. Only 2 hits on the day, and he has a 2-run cushion and 3 outs to try to clear this one up. It's the Barrett, the batter. He's had a couple of good barrels. Flew out to left field and right field. Nice pitch there. Ooh, doesn't get the called strike on the inside corner. Moves the count to 2-0.
It felt like he tightened up the zone there on that pitch, didn't he?
Barrett hitting from the left-hand side, a .245 hitter, has 2 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run on the year. Had a good barrel to right field in his last at-bat. Jackson Kelson comes back with a strike there. So 2-1 the count. Jackson Kelson with 87 pitches on the day. Gage Sheesh getting loose out in the bullpen.
And Ty, he's still throwing high 80s with his velocity here into the 7th inning.
2-1, and there you go. Big swing and a miss from Barrett. Moves the count to 2-2. Barrett impressive, Ty. 14 strikeouts for Barrett out of 18 outs on the mound. He's had 2 of the better at-bats against Jackson Kelson in the ballgame. Doesn't have a hit to show for it. The 2-2 pitch, swung on, another fly ball to left field. This one's going to push Tregenshaw back. Tregenshaw can't get to it. It's going to be an easy double for Barrett. Is he going to try to go for 3? No, he'll stay at second base. But a leadoff double for Springville is going to bring the tying run up to the plate, and it's a good one. Lakai, 1 single, a strikeout, but hitting .466 on the year with 5 home runs.
But this is high-level baseball, Tyler, and I want to point that out. Off the bat, that's a good swing going the opposite way with some power there from Barrett. But Tragan Shaw had a great read off the bat. He saw that one all the way, was on a full sprint. It was to his glove hand side, and I thought for a moment he was going to have a chance to get to that one, Ty. Good baseball all the way around. Defense getting good jumps off. That's better offense there on that possession, though. And a leadoff double will give Springville a little bit of life.
Lakai again, second in the state in home runs and RBIs behind Wasatch's own Peyton Swap. Swap not in the lineup today due to injury to his back. It's going to bring a trip to the mound from Coach Watkins. Trip to the mounds, again, brought to you by Mirror Lake Station. That's the first extra base hit of the day. Your extra base hits are brought to you by Gravity Coalition, offering the best in bikes, skis, snowboards, skateboards, and more in the Heber Valley. Personalized service, sales, and repair for the gear you love. Gravity Coalition in Midway, Utah, or gravitycoalition.com. This is a cool shot.
I would have to imagine part of this conversation is what you just alluded to, Tyler. Springville has one guy in their lineup that can tie this game up on one swing, and he's right here. So you've got to be careful if you're Jackson Kelson. Springville to beat you, you want them to string together several hits in a row in this inning. You're playing with a lead, but this kid, you make a mistake, he can put it over the fence and tie this thing up in a hurry.
Light breeze coming in from left field, but it has died down, so not near as much wind as we had at the start of the day. Runner on second, nobody out. Top of the seventh, Wasatch trying to hold on to 2-0 lead. Kelson comes with a strike. Fastball swung on and missed.
Well, that was a terrible swing, Tyler. He was not on time on that one. I don't know if he was looking curveball the whole way, but that ball was by him before he knew it.
Jackson Kelson sets the 0-1 with a runner on second base. Gets the outside corner for strike two, moves the count to 0-2. Just live right there, right? If you can get that spot, that's where you want to live. A good two-strike swing in his first at-bat was a single up the middle, so Lakai not only a pull hitter, but can go the opposite way with it. Jackson Kelson up 0-2. The 0-2, high and outside, moves count to 1-2. Outfield playing deep, trying to keep, like you mentioned, Ty, you want to string some singles together in order to give away this one. So playing deep is your outfield against Lakai. Infield playing straight up. Time is called by Lakai in the box, and we'll reset at 1-2.
Well, if you're just joining us, this has been a good game. Wasatch leading 2-0 in the top of the seventh. Springville has out-hit Wasatch. 3 hits for the Red Devils, only 2 for Wasatch.
1-2, and he gets him swinging. Big-time strikeout there from Jackson Kelson, brought to you by Physical at the Fit Stop. That's the second strikeout of the game for Lakai. Strikeout number 7 for Jackson Kelson. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Gage, who popped out on a bunt in his first at-bat and struck out looking in his second at-bat. But, man, that's a big-time strikeout against a really good hitter for Springville. 1 out now, still tying run at the plate. Runner on second base. Jackson Kelson takes one look, delivers. Fastball too far outside, moves the count to 1-0.
Some action in the bullpen as Kelson is approaching the century mark of pitches. He's in 94 right now. Gage Sheesh getting loose.
The 1-0. Fastball in there. It's elevated to shallow right field. Jack Blue's going to call it. Runner's going to stay at second base. Jack Blue floating makes the crowd. Made it look, I think, a little bit harder than it needed to.
The wind was pushing it,
That's
Tyler.
right.
That wind was pushing it the other way. And to add to the intrigue to that, you've got a transitional point on the field where the turf meets real grass. And that's right where Jack was battling. So with the wind pushing it and a little bit of a change of what your feet are feeling below you, that was not as easy as that ball may seem to be.
2 outs now, as it's going to bring up the catcher, Polson, struck out looking and grounded out to Chet Wilson at third base in his second at bat. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Wasatch, top of the seventh. This is a line drive to center field. This one's going to be down. Run's going to come in. Chet Cruz going to throw it in there, keep it at first base. So 1 run comes in. Tying runs now at first base on the single by Polson.
And again, Tyler, I'm doing it again to you. I'm sorry. The coach was coming out at me. On that ball, you're surrendering the run, is why I'm saying no. With Crew coming in, you know, as an outfielder, he's licking his chops saying, I want to throw this guy out. But that's a big moment. If he tries to throw that to the catcher, that run's going to score. 2 outs, he's coming in. And if you overthrow, that runner goes from a single to a double, and now all it takes is back-to-back hits and you're tied up. By keeping that ball in play, now it should take 2 hits for Springville to push across the tying run, because Wasatch is playing no doubles with their outfield right now, meaning they're very deep. and you just haven't been able to string together a couple hits in a row if you're Springville on Jackson Kelson today. So you're playing the numbers.
Brings up the shortstop Brunson, who did have a good barrel in his last at-bat, grounded out to the pitcher that went off Jackson Kelson's hip. He's going to swing at the first pitch and foul it off. The outfield does come in a little bit with Brunson at the plate. Brunson, not a very big player. 217 batting average on the year. Does have 6 RBIs. This pitch in there for strike two. 0-2 the count now with 2 outs. Springville making this one interesting, scoring a run here in the top of the first after the double by Barrett to lead off the inning and then a single by Polson. But now they're down to their last strike. 0-2 the count with 2 outs. Not a great lead by the runner at first base. Jackson Kelson takes a peek. Now a second. Delivers the 0-2. Curveball too far outside. 1-2 the count. Wasatch shading a little bit to the pull side with Brunson up. Now Bucad's going to slide over to the left. The 1-2 pitch swung on, and this is going to go foul into the soccer field as we'll reset at 1-2. Good at bat here from Brunson, the shortstop. Similar at bat to what we saw the first time, or the second at bat. He was able to push the count to full and then got a barrel that went off of Jackson Kelson's hip. 1-2 the count, 2 outs. Runner on first is the tying run. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, Jackson Kelson. A gem on the mound. Complete game, 1 run. 8 strikeouts for Jackson Kelson in the ballgame as Wasatch wins 2-1 in a pitching duel. We'll have your Timberline Ace Hardware postgame show after this.
Hi, this is Abby Covarrubias, the Wasatch High School Student Body President. Did you know that parents are the #1 reason kids don't drink? Believe it or not, teens still listen to their parents. In fact, kids usually listen to their parents more than anyone else, including their friends. Utah kids report the #1 reason they choose not to drink is their parents' strongest approval. All kids need a parent's help to stay drug and alcohol free. Brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health and the Parent Bonding Project.
Napa know-how.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts, 105 North Main Street in Heber City, a proud sponsor of Wasatch Wasps Sports.
Napa know-how.
Hi, friend. Are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best of State for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasps Football Stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Wasatch wins 2-1. It's time for your Timberline Ace Hardware postgame show right here in the Heber City. Visit us for all your hardware needs. Come in to get your cool outdoor clothing equipment, Carhartt wear, and Wrangler jeans at 737 South Main Street behind Panda Express, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years. And Ty, I just want to give a shout out to this Wasatch team facing some adversity today. Ty, Payne Swap, your #1 hitter, not in the lineup due to a back injury. You're facing a guy on the mound